Hello, everyone. Good night. How are you doing out there? Okay. Today, I have a very, very, very important message. Okay. Thus saith the Lord. Okay. It is time to take a vow of silence. Okay. This message came about, a couple weeks ago. I was traveling across the country and I had came across a highway sign that said truth or consequences. I said, what the hell? And it was like a regular, directional sign. A sign that points you in direction. It was a green highway sign. And it said truth or consequences. And I said to myself, fuck out of here. I said, that's the devil is a lie trying to, stop us from becoming. Fuck out of here, And that was my mentality at that time. But as the weeks have gone past and the Lord has shown me things, that message was very well for me and for you. Okay. So in the moment that I seen it, there was a sense of feeling like the devil was using tactics to deter me, as well as I know that many people may feel that this message, many people may have pride, as in, I guess that's what I was probably displaying in that moment when I seen that. It was a sense of pride. Like, ain't nobody gonna stop me from talking. I'm gonna say what I want to say. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you this, chosen, that this is a strategy in warfare. Okay? Silence. So for the men and for the women, there's no need to have a sense of pride and feel like you need to continue to engage on this war on truth right now. Okay? You have done an amazing work. We have all done an amazing work over the past years. Okay? Disseminating this information, raising the Kundalini, and, bringing this awakening to the planet. So the work is done. Okay? There's tons of information that exists in the cloud that is available. Okay? As well as at this point in time, those who may need to get caught up to speed, that's where, the information will just be, downloaded to their consciousness. Okay? And they will be guided in the direction to go and where to get literature from. Okay? So yes, to those of you with channels and huge followings, this might be a hard pill to swallow, but I'm telling you to put your pride aside, because it is very, very crucial in this time that you obey this command. Okay? If you are not familiar with me, I am directly connected to the throne. And when we say thus saith the Lord, that is a decree that goes throughout the land and goes to the chosen. It is something to be followed and something to be obeyed, or there will be consequences. This is coming down to you right now because this is what is called for in the kingdom right now. It is called, we are being called to silence. Okay? To keep the mouth closed. Okay? Pertaining to matters of truth and matters of the awakening. Okay? So let's continue. So that sign was on the highway. I said, okay. Now we have Trump in office now, and I seen his speech, and he mentioned that he's ready to silence. Well, I don't know if he used the word silence, but pretty much that's the word I'm gonna use since we're talking about silence. He is ready to silence the woke community. Okay? So he's waging war on truth. Okay? So know that he's serious about this. Okay? I just actually, as I was getting ready to post this video, I just seen that a news clip where they say they've arrested a Florida man for making threats against Trump. Okay? Obviously, you guys probably aren't making threats against Trump, but this is a foreshadowing of what is to come with this regime. Okay, how they want complete dominance, and they will not tolerate any form of what they're calling disinformation and truth. Disinformation, or what we're calling truth. Okay, they will not tolerate it. Okay. I've heard some YouTubers say, we're just going to have to start talking in code eventually. Okay, I'm here to tell you, for those of you who are thinking like this, no, this is not the time for code talking either. None of that. Okay, this is the time of our communication being in the form of telepathy. Okay, for those of you who may not have a strength in you might not be strong or have been well trained in the area of telepathy. I promise you, if you practice it, it will click on like this. We are in that awakening time where telepathy, this is the age of it. It will turn on for you just like this. Just start using it. Okay. In fact, I was telling my daughter today, a couple of stories about some experiences that I've had the past couple of days being in this new city, and how people weren't saying things, but I knew exactly what their thoughts were. I could read their thoughts without them even opening their mouths. And I said, oh shit, yeah, this is the times that have been prophesied, that we would get to this point where people couldn't hide their underlying feelings and thoughts. Even though they're smiling at you, you know what they're actually thinking. So those of you who have not honed your skills and haven't practiced it, don't worry, start using it. It's going to turn on for you, and it's going to work just like this. Okay, just like that. So let's see. So imagine that, guys, riding on the highway and you see a green sign, not like a billboard, like a directional sign, which tell you which direction to go, and it says truth or consequences. Who put that there? Okay. And that was somewhere between, I think I might have been like in somewhere between New Mexico and Texas. Okay, so it's there. You probably can Google it and it probably show up. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, so I wrote some things. Well, we'll leave the light off. It looks pretty okay in the dark. Okay, so nope, dark ain't gonna work. Hold on, bear with me, y'all. Okay, so I wrote some things. So let me read off the paper. Okay, just bear with me. Okay. It says, by the way, okay, this sign was located in the interstate somewhere between New Mexico and Texas. To my understanding, the powers that were have already been cracking down on truth speakers on social media for some time now. However, the Lord has revealed to me that the war on truth, woke culture, Christ consciousness, and the chosen will be amplified to catastrophic proportions, and you are urged to take a vow of silence. Now, I have heard a lot of the chosen state that they will begin to speak in code to get their transmissions and channels out. But thus saith the Lord, I command you to take a vow of silence instead. Know that the powers that were will be using both overt and covert tactics to try and disable you. They will begin confiscating people's social media accounts at an all-time high, with individuals actually being expelled from all social media platforms, or perhaps being expelled from the platform that they got kicked off of. Because I know I've heard people getting their channels taken and then they're able to get them back or whatever. They get like little suspensions and stuff, but they're going to be getting to the point where they're expelling, and not only expelling you from one site, but from all of them. Okay, you will be like banned. You'll be in like a social media jail. Okay, let's see. Remember to obey this command so this doesn't happen to you. They will begin to intercept communications. They will disrupt Wi-Fi connections and all out, wait. They will begin to disrupt Wi-Fi connections, and they will be interfering with your ability to upload and download on the web. They will be lying about your views. I hear people complaining about that already. You know, they lie about your views. This is, let's see. They will be lying about your views. Your subscribers will not be receiving their notifications. This is to play games with your mind and to weaken your morale. Okay. There will be an increase. Okay. So let's stop there. Okay. This is a game that they're playing with your mind, you know, to discourage you from, you know, posting, perhaps not feeling, you know, like your content, like anyone needs to hear your content. You know, it's just a mind game that they're going to be playing on you. So be aware of that. Okay. If you have been sanctioned to speak and be a truth speaker, and to be a prophet in this day and age, know that, you know, that you belong. Okay. No views, no amount of subscribers can dictate your calling. Okay. So don't let the numbers play games with your mind and convince you that you shouldn't be doing what you were called to do. Okay. There will be an increase in espionage at home and abroad. Thus saith the Lord, no speaking in code on your phones. No speaking in code around your phones. Okay. And this, not only speaking in codes, but having full-blown conversations that should not be heard by anyone. Okay. You're not going to do any of those things around your phone. Okay. You will not be talking in your cars recklessly. Okay. And don't write down any sensitive information in emails or on your phone or in your journals or notepads. Okay. Kings, priests, and judges are permitted. However, use great discernment. Okay. And I say that because the kings, the priests, and the judges, that's part of our work, is using the pen and the paper and using our heka, our words. Okay. But for those of you who are not called to those positions, but are a part of the kingdom in this movement, then this is precisely for you. Okay. No exceptions. Okay. Let's go. There will be an increase, okay, in false accusations, fugazi, bogus accusation and charges. Okay. Let's see. Roll that window up, daughter. I don't know where this random person just came from. Hold on, y'all. All right. I'm back at it. Okay. So they're going to be, you know, coming down on people with false charges. Okay. Like perhaps we're seeing, say, with somebody like Puff Daddy. Okay. They're trumping up the charges on him, you know, whether he's guilty or not guilty of the things that they are saying that he's guilty of. They're trumping up the charges. Okay. Like we've seen with our past leaders. Okay. Whether they're guilty or not guilty, because a lot of them are before my time and I don't know per se if they are truly guilty or not. But knowing the history of these corrupt accusers, I know their pathology, and it appears that they falsely accuse the truth speakers, the prophets, of things that they did not commit so that they can arrest them and bound them. Okay. And with no public outcry to release these prophets and our saviors, you know, because of the charges that they put on them, they pretty much just get away with bounding our leaders who were sent here to save us. Okay, so we will begin to see them rolling out this plan. We've seen that just recently in the Black conscious community where there was the sweep up of Nature Boy. Young Pharaoh didn't go to jail, but Young Pharaoh, Brother Polite, and who else? And then we had Brother Panic, and who else? And Rashad Jamal. Okay, now I liked all of those brothers or whatever, you know what I mean? For me, they were not perfect by any means, but they did they did play a role in at least awakening our people to a reality other than the reality that had been given to them, so in that sense I appreciate them. As sometimes with information, some stuff is incorrect, but the main gist of their cause was unifying us and waking us up to, the true enemy. That was ultimately it. Whether some of the information was far out there and not accurate, that comes with the territory. They also were not, in my opinion, disciplined enough. You know what I mean? They weren't disciplined or fit to lead. Okay. They had a lot of chinks in their armor, but again, I still appreciate them for the work that they have done. But I'm saying that to say, you see how they swept them up, Brother Panic, I'm sure something happened. That was some kind of black magic that took place that got him out of here. Even Young Pharaoh, that was some form of black magic that did what it did to him. Okay, the rest of these guys might have been lighter forms of black magic, but it was done as well as their failure to, due to their egos and their failure to properly their not their failure, their abuse of power. We'll say abuse of power. We'll say that. Okay. We're going to hold them accountable on some notes. Their abuse of power. So we just seen them all get swept out with some kind of charges. Okay. The ones who went like Pharaoh, Mad, and Brother Panic passing away, they might have been judged. There was a judgment in the spiritual realm. Okay. There was some form of trumped up charges in the spiritual realm that took them out. Okay. So we will begin to see this again. So you are getting warned so that you don't fall into that category. These are the warnings here. Okay. That you get your shit together so that you don't get caught up in these raids and in these sweeps, because they coming. Okay. Now, let's see. There will be an increase in stop and frisk. That's a policy that I know is in New York. But when I say that, what I'm saying is where police are just, they're going to be more active, just stopping and finding reasons to stop you and search you and do things like that to antagonize you, giving you tickets. And like I said, give you, frustrating you, putting up trumped up charges on you. Okay. So it's like a form of like gang stalking. They will, be increasing in that. If you've ever experienced gang stalking, it will be increased now. For those of you who haven't experienced, perhaps you will experience. Now this, obviously is their tactics, but we have solutions. We're going to get to those. Okay. But just be aware. And when you're aware of something, you can kind of prevent yourself from being in the realm of that reality. Okay. There will be increase in raids, like in the days of Anne Frank during the Second World War and the Holocaust, on anyone they deem a terrorist. This is the woke community, the New Ages, the truth speakers, the prophets, the prophetess, the seers, the chosen, the light bearers, the light workers, and the likes. Okay? We have had the last 40 years or so, for this generation. We've had the last 40 years. Now, obviously, our ancestors have been paving the path and laying the foundations, and passing the baton to us for eons, since the beginning of time. This war has been going on, and for us, though, in this generation, it has been at least the last 40 years or so where we have advanced the agenda of the kingdom, okay, and sponsored the Great Awakening. With the advent of the World Wide Web, smartphones, and social media, we have gained and took more grounds, okay? Now, the foundations are laid and they're sturdy, okay? So this was a scripture that I was led to give you guys to confirm what I'm saying to you and why it's okay to be silent, okay? The foundations are laid and they're sturdy, okay? So listen to this. There's a scripture in the Bible, Matthew 13:33. This is Christ speaking, Jesus the Christ. He says, remember that the kingdom of heaven is like the yeast that a woman took and mixed into about 60 pounds of flour until it worked all through the dough. Okay? And here's another scripture, which is the one that I actually was looking for when I wrote this. But when I looked it up, according to Google, it was actually a scripture that talked about the false prophets and their spread of information. And I was like, should I use it? Because I'm sure there'll be some of those kind of Christians on this channel watching this message. And I said, you know what? We got to do what we got to do. I like this scripture, even though it's talking about the false ones, okay? But this is Galatians 5:9. It says, a little leaven leavens the whole loaf, okay? And it's pretty much talking, let me see. Now, this scripture was used to illustrate how false teachings can spread fast, right? But for the purpose of this message, it is to illustrate that in just a little time, 40 years or so, we have done a great work and our roots and foundations are solid. Now we can afford to sit back and watch our works transform our nation and the world, okay? During this vow of silence, I would encourage you all to continue your kingly, priestly, and judicial duties, okay, which are to be performed in secrecy. Our ancestors have left behind a treasure trove of wisdom and instructions on how to engage this life and our adversaries, okay? By the way, the ancestors says hello. They want you to know that you are never alone and that because of the work that we put in, it afforded them time to sleep, and they are now revitalized and renewed and are stronger than even when they were in the physical form. As proof and evidence of my last statement, they pointed me to recent events, current events, which was the pardon that Joe Biden issued for Marcus Messiah Garvey, okay, and the recent announcement from President Donald Trump that he will be declassifying the FBI files on the Kennedy brothers as well as Dr. King. They say they are still committed to truth. They say that they are still committed to truth, justice, and freedom. They are unbound, resurrected, and ready to further the people's cause. They congratulate you on your efforts and issue you some much needed R&R, which is rest and relaxation, a term used in war to describe a grace period given to a soldier after battling on the battlefield. Okay? They said they got it from here. Let the ghost wars begin. Okay? So, this is an R&R. This vow of silence that we will be taking is so that we can renew and revitalize ourselves. So I'm sure you've been exhausted. The war ain't let up. We've been fighting. It's been a war out here. So you can now let go and relax a bit, okay? So that you can renew in this season. How long this vow of silence will be, I'm not sure until, okay? When I am given information on when we can begin talking, I will definitely come here and announce it. But again, to those of you who are also kings and priests and judges, you will also get divine insights on perhaps when you can speak again, or when us as a whole can, begin to go at it again. But again, we laid a foundation. We know that Trump is in office and they go into war with, with us. Okay. So for now, let's just cloak ourselves. Okay. Enjoy this life, because we've done a great work in setting up our foundations, and know that yeast, I forget, it was a scripture too that talked about the yeast, and that was the one I was looking for too. How when it gets to rolling, it has so much momentum that it can't stop. And that is what we have been doing with everything that we have been, all the information and truth and all the insight that we've been putting out there, given to the world, all the books, all the publishings, everything that's been out there. It's like yeast. They can't stop it. It's rolling, and it's going to knock over everything that does not align with it. And those who are to be in alignment with it, they will become a part of that yeast ball. It will just keep growing as a body, getting bigger and bigger, knocking down, consuming those who refuse to get with the program. And also, those that belong to us will become a part of us. We're just going to keep growing and getting bigger. We're here now. The kingdom is here. Thy kingdom come. Okay? Now, they said ghost wars. Okay? That's that supernatural war. Okay? That will be the use of the elements, the use of weather, the stars, the stars fighting for us. Okay? The moon, the sun, and the stars fighting on our behalf. Okay? Our ancestors are in the elements. They're in the ethers. Okay? So know that. Now let's see. Okay, so that was the end of that. So now we're going to deal with solutions to this war that is being amplified. We have solutions for some of the things that we may face during this time. Okay, so solutions to these ills. Okay, it's time to start using telepathy, as I said, as your main form of communication. Okay, especially for the kings, priests, and judges. I gave a message out before letting you know that, you are the command center. You can sit right from where you are and you can affect change. Okay, you can move pieces on the chessboard just with your thoughts and your mind. Okay, for those with social media platforms, it is time to diversify your content. Okay, for those of you who are creative enough, perhaps, you could switch over to celeb gossip, reviewing music videos, reaction, become a reaction channel. Those are just a few things that, I'm familiar with. But whatever else, that you may have interest in, or somehow you maybe just giving out positive motivation and daily bread, to your subscribers or your congregation, however you would like to call it. Okay. But know that you are to deviate from the norm on your channel. Okay, if you really been going hard out there, really unleashing and really putting that stuff out there, you can get your foot off the gas. Okay, cruise control. We ain't talking about that for a while. Okay, just, you got to figure out something to talk about, or just step back from it. Okay, again, don't let the money deceive you. You might say, I done got this channel and I was making so much money, I'm used to this money. Is your freedom worth the money? Okay, there will be other ways to provide for you and your family. You're going to do whatever it takes in this season to stay alive. Okay, and to stay alive, to survive, and to keep your freedom. Okay, yes, know that you will be provided for. Whatever that you may lose, because this is an attack on your finances. Whatever you may lose, no worries. There's always solution. There's always an answer. Okay, to every problem. Know that. Okay, so let's see. Okay, Of course, of course, inform your subscribers of the changes and circumstances to ensure continued viewership and subscription. Okay, something you might be forced to do is downsizing your life. If the money from this truth-telling business is now not there, you have to somehow figure out a way to downsize your life. If you need to go back to communal living, if you got a big house because you made a lot of money, you got a big home, invite people to come stay, that's a part of the community to chip in with the bills, okay? Some of you might need to find other streams of income, okay, to fill in the gaps from, for the lost revenue, okay? Let's see. As these orders and actions administered by this current administration, administered by this current administration is a direct attack on the war on consciousness and truth, and designed to destabilize us by attacking our finances and our ability to survive. Be aware that they will go all out to achieve their goal of destabilization and complete domination, okay? At this time, they will be summoning demons and using, occultic practices. Give me 1 second. Let me find my other paper here. Where is my other paper? Let me see if this is it. Hold on now. Where my other paper at? Oh, okay, here we go. That's my other paper, the back of my paper. See, I done wrote down so much stuff. I had it on in my notes in my phone, but then I realized I had to transfer it over to paper before I could deliver it. But here we go. So they're going to be summoning demons, right? As we know about that portal everyone talks about. I don't know much about it. People say that that's what's going on out there. So that's just some general information that's there. I can't confirm or deny whether that's true or not. Supposedly, the one in Switzerland where they're supposedly breaking barriers into the atmosphere to allow demonic entities to come into this world. Okay. But what I do know is that I don't even think they really need to do that much. Because spirits don't need that to travel to our world, from what I know, you can just summon them. Maybe that's their way, as we are the spiritual people, we can just call on them and they show up. For them, I guess they have to break through space and time to get these forces to answer them. I don't know, but they will be using occultic magic to try and silence you, to try to drive you mad, and to try to kill you. It is very crucial at this time that we support one another in any way that we can, right? UNITY, that's a unity. If you see your brethren destroyed, it is your duty to provide support and aid according to your capabilities, okay? Because his state of being is due to his active duty position in this war. And if they have offended one of ours, they have offended us all. Okay, so it is our duty to bring our brethren back to a state of restoration. Okay, at this time, you must prioritize your spiritual life. Okay, at this time, you must prioritize your spiritual life. It goes before money, family, it's that divine communing that is going to save you and your family, save your finances and everything else. Whatever it is that you do, whoever it is that you call on, okay? Whoever that higher power is, whatever that higher power, not whoever, whatever that higher power is, tap in, okay? It's going to be very crucial in helping guide you during these crazy times, okay? Yes, prioritize your spiritual life and your health, okay? That's your mental health, because the war on your mind is going to be insane, okay? Insane. So you're going to need methods and technology that will become, that is just a part of you, something that's a part of your routine to help de-stress you, okay? Because you're going to need it. So you're prioritizing all of that. Your mental, your physical, whether it's going for a walk every day for men who need to really burn off stuff, going to the gym, running on that treadmill, whatever it is you need to do physically, walking, lifting weights, whatever it is, do it. Okay. And then your spiritual health, whether that's your altar, whether that's some magic, some ritualistic stuff, whatever you need to do to tap in to the prime creator and the thing that we call God that is guiding, aiding, and abetting us, that's what you need to be tapping in to every day before you start your day. Okay? Because this enemy will be lurking and looking for any chance that he can get to devour you. So it's important every day before you set foot out of that house for you to do that work and program the day, okay, for victory. Okay, and now with that being said, in the spirit of the great Nipsey Hussle, stay dangerous. Peace, and until next time, shh.